back with another fab tutorial for y'all. I am starting off my routine using the Urban Decay's Optical Illusion Priming Potion. Like I always use, I tell you guys all the time, I love this just so it can smooth out the skin, any fine lines, and fill in those pores. Then I'm going to take my setting spray, not my setting spray, my priming spray, just to give a little bit more hydration. It's also by Urban, it's called Rebound. And I'm going to sponge that into my face using my Real Technique sponge. Then I'm going to start priming my eyebrows so we can start snatching these brows to the gods using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the color shade Chocolate. And as you can see, as usual, I'm starting underneath and getting that nice crisp line. And then I like to feather the pomade through my brow at the top so it's not so harsh. And then I'm going to flip my angle brush and start making those upward strokes to give that hair-like appearance. And then I'm going to start carving out my arch and then bringing it to a nice slim tip towards the back so it'll be easier to shape when I use my concealer. Then I'm going in with the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced, and I am in the shade Cool Medium. I like to go a half a shade lighter than my skin tone just so it can be super natural and it'll be super easy to blend into my skin and not give that very white overcast of a too light shade. So keep that in mind when you guys pick out a great concealer, either for your under eye or to carve out your brows. And then I'm going to start a fourth back like I usually start, and then start shaping the top of my brow, creating that arch and slimming out that tip to perfection. The reason I do this, like I tell you guys all the time, is you don't want to get those Instagram box brows. And when you start all the way in the front, in my opinion, it takes that very natural look away from the brow. Then I'm going in with my primer potion in Eden by Urban Decay to prime my lids. I love this primer potion. You do not have to set it with a powder. I take my Real Technique sponge and just blend that out. And instantly after I'm done blending, it will be ready to pack on color, just like that. I'm going to start off by using the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette in Prism. And I'm going to be going in with that shade you guys just seen me poke to, in the name of it's called Eden. And the blending brush that I obsess over and love is the Morphe 504 brush to lay down my transition shade. And then I'm just going in with a little bit more color to get a little bit more pigment from that transition shade Eden. Then I'm going back into my Prism palette and I'm using the shade Lucid. And I'm going to take the Morphe, the Morphe 326 brush to lay down my brow highlight. And then I'm going in with the Subculture palette by Anastasia as well. And I'm going in with that orange shade called New Wave using a BH Cosmetics brush. It was a blending brush, tapered blending brush I might say, that I got in like a brush set. So I'm so sorry, the numbers are so worn off of it. I have had this brush forever, but hey, if you're in the mood to buy nice cheap brushes that last, BH Cosmetics is an awesome site to go to too. Then I'm going back into that Prism palette and I'm taking the shade Saturn on Morphe. So sorry guys, it was not a Morphe, it's actually a Sigma tapered blending brush called E40. Then I'm going back into my Subculture palette again, and then I'm going to take this shade called Rowdy, and I'm going to take a Morphe small teeny blending brush, which is like my ultimate fave to get in that crease, and it's called the M553 brush, or 552. It's probably 552. I'm not sure. I've had this brush so long, y'all, like the numbers are like rubbing off literally. But anywho, I love this brush. Sigma has a dupe for this brush. It's an amazing brush. As you can see, I laid down that color first, and then I'm going back in with my blending brush with no extra product, blending that out so it can be super seamless. And then I'm going back in with Rowdy using my small tapered brush and getting right back into that crease again using left and right swiping motions, not circular motions, so windshield wiper motions, to concentrate that color strictly in my crease, because even though I want it to blend, I want the impact of that color to stay right in my crease only. Then I'm going back in with my concealer by Too Faced Born This Way. And I'm going to take a very, very, very small brush made by Urban Decay. And the brush is the E213 brush. And as you can see, I'm starting to carve out and cut my crease. Once I get the beginning of it going, I just kind of take the product and push it throughout my eyelid and then start shaping it. Make sure you have a lot of concealer on your brush. Don't be scared to put product on your brush, because the more concealer you have on your brush, the smoother you can cut that crease and the smoother it's going to glide across your lid, because the less product you have, it's going to start tugging at it, which is going to get your lines kind of jagged or rugged looking, and it won't give a very smooth, very clean cut crease to your eye. As you can see, I'm starting to shape out that tail, and I kind of drag it out and then I bring it back in, almost like doing an eyeliner and connecting the dots pretty much. Oh, yeah. Oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I can't wait so we can break apart. Next, I'm going to take a big fluffy powder brush, and it's also made by Urban. And the number on this brush has also rubbed off. I promised I would get the name of this fluffy brush for you, but I just set my concealed area with some transition powder. And then I'm going back into that Prism palette, and I'm using the shade Sphere on a very small packing brush. And it's by Urban Decay, and the number is called the F111 Detailed Concealer Brush. And I like it because it picks up color really nicely, and as you can see, it's packing it on very precise. Yep, fallout is a mother effer. So that's why I do my eyes first whenever I know I'm doing very full glam looks like this, because honey, if you had a face done and then you had all this green fallout, you will have a green under eye. But look what I'm doing, guys. I'm taking my makeup wipe and I'm shaping that edge up so it's super crisp and super, super clean. And then I'm going in with my eyeliner, which I will list the color below. It's also by Urban Decay. I love their eyeliners because they have a very wide variety range of shades, and they don't smear when you take them off. They literally crumble off or peel off. But yeah, as you can see, I'm getting that wing nice and snatched there. And it is a green color. Love, love, love the money green with this nice, vibrant lime green I got going on my eyes. And then I'm going in with the Urban Decay's glitter. I will also list that shade below. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I love the Urban Decay glitters. And another brand that has really nice glitters like this is also by Too Faced. They just came out with it maybe like a couple of months ago. Love the glitters. They're only 20 bucks. They never expire. And then you don't have all that glitter fallout too. Haha, tricks of the trade, tricks of the trade. But anyway, I'm popping on my lashes, putting on mascara, and getting them ready. Then I'm going in with this liquid highlight by Anastasia. It's called Perla. I love it. I'm not into liquid highlight, but I do like putting it as another base underneath, something for my foundation to grip on. And the reason I'm doing this is so I can have a dewy, very glowy gleam from underneath my foundation, because I am using a full coverage foundation. And sometimes you can look a little bit too matte when you go a little bit fuller. So doing this is just going to give it a nice little glow and sheen underneath as well. And then I'm going in with my Real Technique sponge and sponging it into my face. I'm going in with my Holy Grail, my Urban Decay's All Nighter foundation. I am in the shade 6.5 right now, and I'm just putting little dots all over my face with this foundation. Remember, y'all, less is more, less is more. Then I'm taking my Real Technique sponge and just sponging that into my skin. And as you can see, I still have that gleam or beam of dewiness shining through, because if you just put this on by itself, And some people like it, but you'll be super matte. But I don't like to be matte all the time, especially now that spring and summer is in effect. I like to have a nice, healthy glow. I'm going back in with my same concealer, Born This Way, and I'm just snatching that under eye. And then I'm going to clean up that liner a little bit more crisp, just how I did the shadow with the makeup remover, because it just makes it so clean, so clean and so crisp, and it comes out very gorgeous. Then I'm just doing the usual under the eyes, down the nose, on the top of the lip, the chin, and of course don't forget that forehead. Then I'm going to take my Real Technique sponge and blend that out, being very careful around the liner area that you don't smudge at all. Then I'm going in with my Naked Urban Decay's Flesh Palette in the shade Strip. And I'm taking just a huge fluffy brush by Sephora and buffing that shade or bronzer into my skin, snatching my cheekbones, around my forehead, temple, around my hairline, and also my chin as well, which you will see. But I like to take my sponge and just help blend that into my skin so we have no harsh lines. I don't bake, you guys know that. So I am just going to clean it up underneath my cheekbone a little bit. Then I'm going in with Hotel Hairs by Tarte and just deepening that bronzer a little bit more to give my cheeks a little bit more hollow effect. And what you do on your cheeks, you do on your forehead as well, and underneath your chin. Then I'm going in with my Kristen Leanne collab with Urban, her highlight palette, and going in with that bronze shade using the Morphe M501 brush, which I love as a highlighting brush, and doing the usual, my cheeks, my forehead, and my chin. And then I was like, dang girl, you forgot to snatch your nose. So a little bit backwards today, y'all, but that's okay. So I am snatching my nose using the Morphe 324 brush, the M324 brush, excuse me. And then as usual, I'm taking my sponge and just pressing that color into my skin, no harsh lines, then going back and highlighting my nose. Going back in with that Kristen Leanne palette using the middle shade. And I am going in with a little packing brush by Morphe. I will list that brush below and just highlighting the inner corners of my eyes. And then I'm going back in with that small taper brush and going in with the shade Saturn from the Prism palette and just buffing out underneath my eyes. And then going back in with Rowdy and topping it. And then I'm using a liner by Urban Decay, which was, I can't talk today, y'all, which was with the Basquiat collab with them. And it's the 24-Hour Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade called Post Prank. Then I'm going to set my face with my setting spray. And y'all, I am snatched, glammed, beat. Yes, honey, give it to me. I hope y'all enjoyed. I love y'all and see you at my next video.